Yeah. So this rational equations, and so to solve a rational equation, everything has to look like a fraction. So right now, everything don't look like a fraction. So to make it all look like a fraction, how can you write this 2x over 1? So you put the 2x over 1, and now everything looks like a fraction. And so now that you got an equation with fractions, you need a common denominator. So you're looking at 1, 7, and 2. What's the common denominator of that? 14. And so all the denominators need to look like 14. Yeah. And so this one, what times 1 to give you 14? So you multiply 14 times the top and the bottom of that fraction. What about times 7? Well, whatever times 1 will give you 14, which is 14. And whatever you, because the common denominator of 1, 7, and 2 is 14. 14 is a number that all the bottom numbers can go into. That's the common denominator. Yeah. Whatever you, yeah, so you're going to multiply the top and bottom times 2. Because whatever you do to the bottom of a fraction, you got to do it to the top. Yeah. And what about 2? What times 2 will give you 14? So you multiply bottom and top times 7. And what about this 2? So you do bottom times top by 7. I'm going to need some assistance because I don't have a calculator. Multiplied, okay, the numbers you multiplied, 14 times 2x, this will give you a 28x. So that's 28x over 14. That's the first fraction. Second fraction, you do 2 times 2x, which gives you 4x over 14. And then it's going to be equal to 7x over 14. And you said 7 times 17 was 196? 119, so you got 119 over 14. So everybody with me at this step? Okay, if all the denominators of a fraction are the same, then you can erase all of them. So the next step will just be writing the 28x minus 4x equal to 7x plus 119. So that's the trick. The trick is if you got an equation with fractions, you can get all the bottoms of the fractions to be the same number, then you can erase the bottom and just have the top. 28 minus 4x, that gives you 24x. And that's still equal to 7x plus 119. And then what's the next now? You got x's on two sides. You can erase the denominator. Bless you. So right now you got 24x equal to 7x plus 119. You gotta get all x's on one side of the equation now. So you subtract 7x. Well, off the right side. Yeah, off 24. So 24 minus 7x is what? 17x equal 119. And then how do you get the x by itself? You gotta divide by 17 because that's 17 times x. And the way to undo it is by the opposite. Yeah. And then what would that get you? 67? 7. So the answer is x equal to 7. Yeah, but it's so let's see, the question is we got an x plus 1 over 3. So now we got two things on the numerator instead of one. And then that's equal to 5 minus x plus 2 over 7. Yeah, minus x plus 2 over 7. So you notice on these numerators is more than one thing. You got two things on one numerator. That's something different. So right now, you got to make everything look like a fraction. So what's the first thing? So you do 5 over 1. Now you look at all the denominators and find the common denominator. Yeah. So what times 3 will give you 21? So you multiply top and bottom times 7. What about the... You got to distribute everything. 7x plus 7. This is going to give you a 7x plus 7 over 21. Okay, what times 1 will give you 21? So you multiply top and bottom by 21. Yeah, that's what they chose. And what's 5 times 21? So this is 105 over 21. And then what times 7 to give you 21? 3, so you got to multiply top and bottom times 3. And so what is the 3 times x plus 2? What does that give you? 3x plus 6 over 21. So everybody with me with this second step. Okay, we gotta wait. All the bottoms are 21. So what does that mean if all the bottoms are the same? You can erase them. So next you're just gonna have 7x plus 7 equal 105 minus, and if you got a negative in between two fractions, you got to put a parentheses on the right side. So it's going to be 3x plus 6, because that negative has to distribute through the right side. Has to bunny hop through the right side. And so this is going to be 7x plus 7 equal 105. And it's going to be a minus 3x of minus 6. Of minus 3x minus 6. So like terms on the left side, you don't have any, because you got a 7x and a 7. So you just rewrite that now, 7x plus 7. On the right side, you do have like terms. You got a 105 and you got a 6. So 105 minus 6 is what? So this becomes 99 minus 3x. And remember, the goal is to get all x's on one side, all the numbers on another. So you move it around how you want to move it around. So if you subtract 7, then you're going to have to subtract it from both sides.
Okay, that's what I was just about to ask. So if you're subtracting something on one side of the equal sign, you got to do it on both sides.
Whatever you do to one side,
You got to do it
to the other. Yeah. And so this is going to be 7x equal to what? 99 minus 7, what's that? 92 minus 3x. So right now, all your regular numbers are on the right. So that means all your x's should be on the left. So how you going to get them all on the left? It's already negative, so you got to add it. So you're going to have to add 3x to both sides. And so you got 10x equal to 92. And then how you get rid of the 10? So what you're going to end up with is you're going to have x equal 92 over 10. You can change it. It's going to be 9.2, but you can leave it like this. You don't have to go all the way to the end like that. Nuh-uh. On this one, it's the same as the other ones, except you got x's on the denominator. The way you do it is you can ignore the x's for right now. So if you ignore the x's, the denominators are 3, 4, 6, and 3. What's the common denominator there? They go into 12, right? And so since you got x's on the bottom, you just stick an x on your common denominator. So your common denominator will be 12x. Yeah. So this one is missing what? The first one? 4. So you multiply top and bottom by 4. What is this second one missing? 3x. So you multiply top and bottom by 3x. Yeah. So you remember the denominator is 12x. What about the third one? It already has the x, so you just do top and bottom by 2. And the last one? 4x. So you got to do top and bottom by 4x. And so what would you have? Let me pause it right quick. So 8 over 12x. Huh? Uh-huh. 3x times 1. 3x over 12x. What about the other side? 22 over 12x
and then minus 4x over 12.
minus 4x over 12x. So, the denominators are all the same. So what does that mean? So what would the next step be? It would be 8 plus 3x equal 22 minus what? Same type of problem as last time. Only difference is these first two steps. And so you still try and get all the x's on one side, all the numbers on the other. It's all the same.
So you would
How would you?
add 4x to both sides.
You can add 4x, and that'll get you 8 plus 7x equal what?
Equal 22.
Yeah, and then what? You try and get all the numbers on the other side. Subtract 8. And so you get 7x equal what? 22 minus 8, what does that give you? 14? Okay, and then how you get rid of the 7? Divide. You always divide at the last step, so just remember that. So you're going to have x equal to what? 2.